welcome back to the channel. I know it's super late, 11 p.m. Eastern, but we have some amazing things to show you today. Before we get into today's topic, I want to show you something that I've been messing around with over the last few days. I'm sure you guys have all heard about ChatGPT. Well, OpenAI released GPT-4, which is supposed to be the upgrade or improvement on this AI software. I took a stab and said, hey, you know what? I'm making a DeFi Kingdoms video. Can you write me an introduction? And the words it used were absolutely amazing, right? Like, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I posted it on Twitter. Make sure you follow me there. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel. But just a few words: in the rapidly evolving world of decentralized finance, DeFi Kingdoms emerges as a groundbreaking and innovative platform amalgamating the realms of finance, gaming, and social interaction. The powerful words in here, honestly, the next time I'm making videos, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to tell me what to say. Because honestly, like, I wish I could think to say things like this. But I think ChatGPT or GPT-4 is a huge fan of DeFi Kingdoms. But that's not the main event today. The main event today is all about this new innovative program, DFK History. And now I'm super pumped and excited to introduce a guest that we've had on the channel before, ioscode, or you might know him as Green Mellow Giant, the creator of Lila's Ledger, who we've had on the channel before to talk about that amazing program. And he's come back with what I think is probably the best tool in existence that we have for DFK that sort of fills the gap that every other piece that we've had, I probably got jumbled my words. Basically, this fills a gap in our ecosystem. And I think that this is the tool that if I talk to people, this was exactly what they were looking for. ioscode, thanks for joining us.
Hey, yeah, glad to be here again. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, and before we get into it, I just want to say thank you, Crypto Boogie, for the $4.99. Thanks so much for always supporting the channel. Appreciate you, fam. Chozo, Big Brain Night. Yeah, you're about to see some amazing things. Now, one of the things I love to do is I always want to know what's going on with my heroes, like especially my big ticket heroes when I sell them, right? So right before we went live, I sort of went and typed in one of my heroes. It was 368. It was the first Gen 0 hero that I purchased. And you hit view, and what's fantastic about this tool is it shows you like the level, it shows you the events, the levels, the sales, the summons. Now, maybe before we go into it, can you tell me what was the purpose behind creating this tool? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of an amalgam of things. For one thing, like I really have always missed the fact that like you used to be able to look at the sales history of a hero on the card. That just kind of like stopped working after a while. And, I always would hear people, wonder about things, the history of their hero or like how a hero was leveled up, and, just stuff like that. And, I've always wanted to like make it easier to like kind of research things about a hero. And, it's, what do people always say about, what's cool and great about the blockchain? They say, it's great because it's all in the chain. You can go verify it, right? It's all right there. But it's really hard to get that information, to find it, to decode it. So it's like, yeah, that's great. But like most people can't even access it. So,
I think there's a disclaimer for that. I think if you click here, it's on here, right? I think you said that.
Yeah, I mentioned that kind of in the summary up there. Yeah.
Right. For everyone else who can't see it, while this information is publicly available on the entire blockchain, it's for the most part encoded and hard to get to. It's presented here in an easily discoverable fashion. I think that's an understatement. Like I think Andrew said it right. This looks like absolute fire. And Kevin's got the fire emojis out too, so you can tell.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of like, I've been a little blown away by like how much people like it. I don't think I expected it to be like that, just such a great reaction. So I'm super glad that, people are loving it.
It feels like a very empty spot in the ecosystem. Like when so I'm very meticulous, or I like to think I'm very meticulous. I write down everything, but even I have no idea, what crystals I use to level. It was actually interesting to learn because like I noticed, so the first summon I ever did with this, and what's beautiful about this tool is you can go in and see every summon, right? Which is, I used to go and scroll the tavern to kind of out like, hey, what did they get when I rented my hero out? I was like, did they get something good?
I do that all the time.
Right. So I bought this hero in June, and the first thing I summoned with it was actually a mythic hero, which set my expectations very. Is there a limit on? Oh no, sorry, it's June 2022. Never mind.
Yeah, it should be. It was the first one. Oh,
it was either June 22. You know what I can do? I can find out when I sold it or when I bought it. I bought it June 10th or 7,000. I bought off Baby Punch. Where is it? This is winner. Oh, if I click here, it's the Baby Punch. See, I know that I work with Baby Punch now and on another project. And before that, I used to message him every time I got just something with this hero because I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like it was 7,000 Jewel when Jewel was 30 cents. So it was 2,100 US for the legendary Archer Gen 0.
Oh yeah,
that's and you can see here I sold it for 55,000 when Jewel was like 9.8 cents. So it was pretty good. If I go back to summons though and go to June 10th, I think it was, what's really interesting, so June 12th, what's really interesting is, so this was the first hero I ever summoned, right? I summoned a mythic archer. And what I thought was very cool prior to the show, I went to levels and I started leveling it up differently. I learned, like you see here, I changed my approach and I can see that. Yeah. I would never have known, right? Like
you just forget. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, you just forget. I mean, like, especially when you are doing so many levels, and it's like, there's one aspect to this where it's like, technically the history doesn't matter. What matters is like the current state of the hero, but like, it's still just interesting. And, it's kind of like something for you to easily like read and understand, what went into the result. And, it's kind of, I guess it's just easier to comprehend than like, doing a statistical analysis on a bunch of them or something.
Yeah, and like what's really funny is I'm looking at this and going, why the hell did I pick agility here and here? I have no idea. Dex and strength.
Sometimes you just get a wild hair when you're leveling up and you're like, I want him to have a little bit more of this later.
Right. But you can see like August, like somewhere in August, I started talking to Grady a lot, and all of a sudden I started using crystals, every summon after, and you can see it. Like you can see patterns in people's behaviors. It is so interesting to be able to look back. And like I haven't summoned with it since 0 and no sales and really no events besides summoning it, right? But you can see the parents, which is really cool. I had some questions for you actually. So number one, I was looking at the crystals, but unless you right click and hit save image, it's not showing it here, but when you save image, it tells you what the crystal name is. Is there a way to get the name of the actual item, or when you mouse over or something?
Man, does it, if you hover over it for longer, does it say?
No, it doesn't. But if you right click on it and save image, then it links you to the image file. So I see.
That'd be easy to add. I mean, it's like it's a little hard to tell when they're so small.
Because the thing is, like this is a tool that I definitely think you can definitely monetize, and I think that there's a lot. I heard a lot of comments on like people love it, but people also go, hey, can we add? Like there's just fine tweaks people want, right?
Yeah.
And like. Yeah. Because like I love this, and I love that you can click on the name, like the code, and get their username, right? Like I have to use DFK Quester to figure this out most of the time. But being able to click on the name, like I can see here, this is Brown Jet. Like I was moving it around on different wallets and it busted.
One thing that like people maybe don't know or like isn't obvious is like you can also hover over the stat ups in that column and it'll show the details. Like if you just hover over there for a second and wait for it to pop up.
Oh, that is amazing. That was actually my question. I was gonna ask you, can we find a way to add those stats? Because like I'm glad you said that because I think a lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah, I think the tooltip I don't think shows up on the stream here, but people can track it themselves.
I'm gonna do it by sharing window, and that'll help. Give me 1 second. I just gotta move stuff off my screen so it doesn't show everything. Hold up. Yeah. Okay, let's try to share my screen. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna share screen 1. Yeah. Okay. Now it should work. So if I go here, right, and it makes it bigger.
Thanks for the shout out, Sandwich Punch, and whoever's behind the Mythic Squad account today.
Yeah, like I said, this is a tool that's going to help a lot of people. And just going back to what I was talking about earlier, if I right click on, oh, actually, wait, it does show up now.
Oh, hey, I can see those. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It wasn't doing that for me before, but hey, that's awesome. So you have it there, which is fantastic. So that's pretty cool. How about the other stuff in this tool? Have you considered like adding like a rental piece to it? Like if we were to have a 5th bar and see like when you rented your hero out, how much you rented it out for, who rented it? Is there a way to capture that kind of information?
Yeah, there is. I think yeah, and it'd be interesting to think about how to display that, because you could have another tab, but also on the summons, it's already there too. So it would, it could be like an additional information on the summons tab too, because there's already like a row every time he was in.
Right. So you know what? Summon. Let's look at. So I've rented a Hero 368 before, especially around the time of the Crystal Veil launch. Oh, so the owner. So the owner is basically like
December. Whoever did the summon.
This person would have rented it, and this person would have rented these, right? From me. Because like I didn't sell it to them, right? Like I rented it out every single time.
Yeah.
But is there a way to find out how much they paid to rent it for?
That would be data I would have to add. Yeah, I'd have to look that up and add it. A big part of the UI part of this tool is actually not the hardest thing to make it work.
No?
The thing that took the most work to get into making it happen is parsing all the blockchain data from Harmony, DFK chain, and Clayton.
Right.
Just spending weeks trying to churn through all that and get caught up and with all the data that I needed.
Did you create like a database and now it's rolling forward?
Yeah.
How does that work? Okay. But
yeah, it's just indexed everything and put it in a database that it can look up. That's really indexed, heavily on the hero, so that, we're getting hero focused information.
So if you do that, are you able to basically, because if you have a database of sorts, are you able to create a function that almost has like historical pricing data for all the heroes on average? Like what is a mythic, what is a Gen 1 10 out of 10 like common like knight go for? Would you be able to have that data in your database?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of there, but it would require a lot of other cross-referencing of information, because I'm not storing any real information about what the hero is. When you load a hero in this, it's just grabbing the basic information about the hero from the DFK API. So I don't actually have that data, so it'd have to be like some new stuff built to make something like that work.
That's actually a tool. I know there are 2 different people who are racing to try to create something like that, because they want to, like, when you have like the actual historical pricing data of all the heroes, you're able to combine that with like the function of ADFK and create an EV calculator to say, like, if you were to summon with these 2 heroes, here's your distribution of probabilities, right? And based on that distribution of probabilities, here's what each of those are worth. Therefore, the summon is an expected value plus or minus what. You know what I mean? And that was an insane tool.
Well, that was actually built already. I mean, I haven't tried to use it lately, but gosh, I forgot his name. Someone built it in Discord.
Oh, really? Oh, you mean Faulty Poker?
Yeah, Faulty Poker's tool. He had a tool that did that exact thing.
I thought that tool was down and under. I didn't realize it was still up.
Yeah, it might not be up anymore. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think that's a challenge, right? Like, but if creating like in poker, they have this thing where like you can, it's called PioSolver. It basically runs through millions of simulations and tells you what the right move is on like every flop, turn, and river board texture. So like though, like that simulation solves the entire game.
Yeah.
So having something like that for DFK to take any sort of like case-based thing out and just tell you what the right answer is would be super valuable, especially for like the big whales in the game. You know what I mean? Because they're just like, I do this, I do this, I do this. Right now, you have to sort of like you use your instincts, you use your gut, and you can use like numbers to make a best estimated guess, but it's never like super accurate, right? Like you're doing envelope math.
There's definitely like a lot of different directions, that I could go in with this, or things to add on to it. And the other thing to consider too is I know that probably most of this information is something that they want to eventually get just available right in the game.
Yeah.
But it's probably more of a lower priority thing. But it might show up one day, and just having this might not be as useful once that does show up.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I remember DFK Quester was one of the first tools, I think DFK Analytics too, that showed like the advanced traits and all these other things in the hero card. Because like the hero card that we saw on the DeFi Kingdoms website was very basic, right? It was very like beginner friendly. And once I saw like other sites adopt this, I think DFK said, hey, well, we want people to use our site versus like another like UI, right? So they started putting it forward. I think what's fantastic about you and the other developers in this space is you create tools that don't necessarily need us to like, enter our walls into new contracts and everything, but in fact just takes the information and packages it up very nicely for every single one of us. Because now I can go back here and actually like learn from what I've done. I could see like every historical summon. What I've been doing, like an idiot, is I've been tracking them. Why would I do that when it's 5 years old? Like, you know what I mean? I'm sitting here tracking like tons of summons. Like, why do I do that?
It's on the blockchain, man. What are you doing?
I know. See, the thing is, I just don't know how to do it. So like, I sit there and spend so much time tracking this, but I don't need any of this because I could literally go to your tool now and say, okay, like on, what is it? What day was this? December 27th. Let's say 522. So if I go up here and go to hero history and look for 522, my wizard, and now what date did I say? December 27th? All right.
Oh, man, that guy went on the PJ.
Yeah, well, so the thing is, I bought these Gen Zeros when the
oh, that's a Gen Zero
down, but they're December 27th. See right here, 1540, 522, 12859 is what I created, right? I created a Priest Fisher, and if I go down here, this is what I see. It's like literally here. You actually have more information. You have Priest Fisher, right? Like I don't know. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's actually really cool because you make it so that we don't have to sit here and tabulate everything. I just want to bring up the comments really quickly. GFame, this is awesome. Savage, I think you read this before, but he said, "Love you, ioscode. Thank you for everything you do for the DFK community." I completely echo this. This is phenomenal. One of the coolest tools we've had so far. Yeah, 100%. Like there are so many tools that have a lot of overlap. This tool really doesn't have that. This tool is like super like out there. You know what I mean? And it's awesome. Mythic Squad, iOS code. I think that's a high five. That's sweet. Hero 101065. You know what? Let's look that up for Sandwich Punch right now. 101 1065. I missed +3 deaths on only one level up. Cool to go back and see this. Wow, what a that's such a tilt.
it's one of his mega dex heroes. So
wow. So it goes like you put your mouse over this and you see +1. Oh, I see. You split it up so you see bonus, primary, and secondary. Oh, I see. Wow. And is there a way to see the actual hero card or no?
No. The one thing you can do, you can click on the picture of the hero right there to jump to it on ADFK if you want.
That's another cool thing that I'm pretty sure not everyone knows. Like I didn't know this, and I spent like I haven't spent like hours in this tool, but
just click on random stuff and see what happens.
Huh?
Just click on random stuff and see what happens.
Does this do anything?
You never know. No.
What is this? Oh, it tells you it was summoned by the stone.
Yeah. Any like death badge, PJ badge, stone.
That's cool. Wow, he used greater dex crystals.
Yeah, he's making Dex monsters, man.
Use greater Dex crystal on every level up. Hey, Emmanuel, please don't spam the chat or else. Like, it's fine when you do it on the Zemetica videos. Please don't do it here, dude. I don't want to have to ban you. Please don't do it.
Let's talk about Zemetica next.
Like,
so
yeah.
There's one more kind of cool thing I could show. People might be interested in. If you want to jump over to Hero 98.
On which chain?
Just Harmony, old school. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So another thing, you know, you can sometimes kind of glean some like different information about heroes. So like if you go to the sales tab real quick.
Yeah.
And just reveal the winners and sellers on these. So here you can tell it looks like, you know, it was sold 3 times, right? And
this, they transferred it here, right?
Girl. Yeah, that's one of the things. So now if you go over to the levels tab and go down to, you know, reveal who started leveling it after that girl account bought it. I'm having a hard time seeing, but is it the but so now you can kind of infer 2 things here, right? So either somebody girl transferred it to but
yeah,
or the same person has 2 accounts. In this case,
or they got hacked.
Maybe, but in this case, you know, the naming convention is kind of the same. You know, somebody likes to do but girl whatever. So you can kind of infer that, you know, this is probably one person with these 2 accounts. So you can kind of, you know, by tracking the history of stuff that's happened with a hero and who's done it, you can kind of glean some interesting information.
Yeah, this is like this is leveling is very all over the place, right? Like they use like the I think it's the HP atonement crystal.
Yeah, HP and MP
atonement, right? And
yeah, I mean different people too. So it's
greater might, greater insight. So like I mean, this should be used as early as possible, of course, but that's pretty cool. Like I love this.
Yeah, Starman did it as soon as he could.
All this. So if we go back here, right? So you said BSUB sold it to Ukine in November 19th. So this is like right before like the big spike. Ukine April 21st. This is like some sort of negative time for DFK. Like it started kind of trending downwards. Girl. And then
yeah, that was like early Crystal Veil time.
Yeah, exactly. I remember this is like when Crystal Veil like spiked up, like it was doing like the traditional like pump and dump kind of like that start, right? And like I don't know what it's called. It's like a wave almost. Vibe says thanks, ioscode, great tool. Yeah, like I'm telling you, people when they see this tool are gonna like add this. Like I had the main site bookmarked, like not like this one, but if you go to dfkhistory.cognifact.com, which by the way, I've included a link to that this website in the description. Also, if you want to just a link to Leela's Ledger, it's also in the description, as well as a link to the video that we did together on Leela's Ledger and sort of the purpose, so you can check it out too. Worm369, this is awesome. Ogre, I would love to see a tool which would analyze my address and propose the best possible hero summoning pair.
Yeah,
you know what? There's a person who did that already. Stomposaurus, I think, right?
Yeah, I think a few people have kind of tools. You know, it can be an intensive process, so it's not. I don't know if it's a thing that lends itself well to a website, but
a lot of people have that and they don't want to share it because it's a huge competitive advantage.
It's a moneymaker tool, right? I mean,
in our guild, I don't know if you heard about. So you're obviously aware of what happened with USDC and like the depegging for temporary. Yeah. Were you aware of this guy who exchanged $2 million in USDC to 50 cents in Tether?
No.
Yeah.
To 5 cents. Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was like 5 cents.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, I maybe it's 5 cents. But yeah, like, he used trade and swap, and it like had like a defunct pool with no liquidity.
Yeah, some aggregator like sent it to a bad pool.
Right, and there was like an MEV bot that basically said, "Oh, perfect. let me just extract that USDC out there.
Yeah, that's a big money
You
maker
know what
there.
I mean? And like when I was sharing that with our guild, they were like, man, all the EV in the ecosystem, like for crypto, is building bots
Yeah.
that can sort of capitalize on tons of these things, right? And like even here, like our guild's like, do we start a bot? And like there's a couple of them who are, there's actually a Discord channel for the DFK developer thing. Like you can go in there and they help you. I know a bunch of people who go in there to try to get help on like building their own tools. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm in there. That's a good good community there to have.
Yeah, I want to do that. I just don't have the time to like get into the API and everything. Like I want to, once we sort of launch like the game that I'm working on, once I kind of like work kind of dies down, I do want to learn more about API. It'd be super cool. Vibe says love it. Stomposaurus, oh, he's here. Perfect. Not all coders have the ability to make their work as accessible as ioscode. Yeah, how do you make it work? Is cognifact.com your website?
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, it's not much of a website by itself. It's just a domain that I got because, it's one I have, and I just decided to share it with Lila's Ledger and this, just so I don't have to pay for another one. But
I thought it was a hosting platform. I went to it. I went to the directory, and it's like nothing here or something. It's like a 2 words or something. Right?
No, it's just like an amalgam of like, or short for cognitive artifact. It's just like a concept that I find interesting.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. And Vibes saying, yeah, the MEV bot smoked him. Front-end development is not one of my gifts, but I'm working on it. Hey, well, you know what? As long as you can build the tools and like, one of the really cool things about Stomposaurus is he reached out to a lot of people to sort of like provide some, hey, like here's what's good. And like, here's where like we have some overlap if you're interested, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet. I know that like, a bunch of people have talked to him about it. I know he messaged me like a while ago, but like, I think I messaged him back a little too late. It is what it is. But it is pretty sweet. Is there anything else on this tool that you want to share? Like that you think is interesting?
Yeah, one more small thing. Hop over to 87284.
Oh, over here? Sure.
Just Jewel.
87284. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure people know that this is one of my old potatoes. But if you hover over the Perilous Journey events on the right part of it, you get some info there, and also on the stat up, you get some more info about the PJ results.
Level 4 on Journey and earn rewards 24 crystal and 0 jewel. Oh, that's cool. So what else were you saying?
Down on the stat increase, also, you can see what stats they picked.
Oh my God! Wait a second. So I'll be honest here. I was too much of a chicken to send anyone on the Perilous Journey at the time.
Yeah.
I had 8 heroes, and I was like, I'm very unlucky. I'm probably gonna lose all of them, so I didn't do it. So I've actually, to this day, I have never done that bonus. So I had no idea you got 15 points. No wonder people are buying Perilous Journey heroes. Like I see the difference in the expense, right? They're equivalent to a mythic early on because you get like plus.
Yeah,
you get like
that's a big deal.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's like it's also. You can kind of infer, like, sometimes like what stats were picked and if they were picked at all by kind of looking at the hero. But, this just kind of makes it really easy and obvious. Easier to check out a hero and see if they applied the stat update and what stats if they did.
Do you still own this hero?
Oh, yeah. He's one of my boys.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. February 15th.
Yeah, I bought him before the PJ.
You got him and then you sent him to Perilous.
Yeah.
45? That's it. Oh, but that's okay, right?
Oh yeah, that was not super cheap back then.
Yeah, I remember. I said this on a video like maybe last week, but my first hero was like floor. I still have it. I have a sentimental thing, right? So like, I don't want to sell like the first hero I've ever gotten. Just like I still have the first Pokemon card I've ever got. It was like a Charizard, right? Sorry, not a Charizard. A Charmander. So here, this is what it is. It was a monk. How about this? We'll just look for it. 73145. Because you know what? I don't need to tell the story. The story will be up here, right?
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. All right.
The first hero I ever got died on the PJ, so I don't get to save that sentimentally. I have to settle for the first hero I summoned. I still have that one at least.
Yeah, that's jokes. So this hero was summoned on December 17th by who? Chikim. Okay. And sales, I bought December 26th, the Brown Jet, 37 jewel. And that was like a price of like, maybe it was like 15 to 18 bucks. And I've literally leveled it up nonstop. Like it like went to my like ledger account after.
Yeah.
And like with the exception of like some things, I've literally just been leveling up. No crystals or anything, because like honestly, it's a common. It's lucky I'm not burning it, okay? But, like,
Yeah, it's lucky to be alive.
right. But like, you know what? Like I have an attachment and like I haven't used any summons with it, and like I just bought it once, right? So this is the first hero I ever bought. I bought it. Funny story. So this is how I got into DFK. I was really bored at my parents' house. And my fiance at the time was like, "Let's go visit your parents for Boxing Day or whatever." I'm like, all right. I'm sorry, for Christmas, right? I'm like, sure, whatever. They live like 10 minutes away. We'll spend some time there. I was super bored. I'm on my phone. People are talking about DeFi Kingdoms on Twitter, like people who I used to play competitive Magic with. So I first get in. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check it out, whatever. I end up buying a hero. The hero's like 600 bucks, 500 US, something like that, And then like at the time, I was like a Gen Zero would be like amazing. Like
It was unfathomable at that time.
they were like $10,000 to $15,000 US. I'm like, how can I justify it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like relatively, like to a floor to a thing that hasn't really changed much. Actually, it has changed. It's actually more, right? Because it's like 30x this one, right? But it's crazy because I remember telling myself, man, if I could get a Gen Zero, I would just be so happy. And now I have 4 of them. So like, it's huh?
Are you happy?
Oh, I'm very happy, dude. Like one of the things I look forward to every single day is like summoning with my Gen Zeros, because like one is a money printer, and always it's that allure of getting a mythic or an allure of getting like an advanced thing, right? And it's just generating value. And I also like truly believe in the game, and I know like this has the potential to be like the board ape of the AVAX subnet, which is DFK chain, right? So there's a lot of potential in the future. Obviously, things have to go right, but like tools like this really will help beginners too. Like there's so much complication with the blockchain, and there's a lot of people who aren't organized, and having this in front of them and saying, hey, it doesn't matter if you're not organized, since everything is transparent, like you said, it's on the blockchain, they can access this and they don't need to worry about that stuff, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just why should everyone have to do all that work, right?
Exactly. And I love it. Like here, I'm going to assume these are the backgrounds, right? Like of the thing, right?
Yeah, from duels. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen them so big. Do you have the elements here too, or no?
It's in the top left. It's just a really little icon.
Is it?
On the name tile.
Where? Here? No, that's common, right? Where?
No, up top you see where the name of the hero is on the top?
Oh, here.
On the left side. It's got the gender and the element.
Well, that's another thing I learned. Like, for somehow that like blended in. You know what I mean? I thought that was part of the frame, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Yeah, no, but like I think it's still sweet because you capture all the data. Like if I click on this, I can see like, how many summons it has left and everything, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'd like to, wherever, like you were saying, there's a lot of tools and some overlap on all the tools that we have. So, I like to kind of integrate where possible when the stuff's already somewhere else and just make it easy for people to jump there.
This all Adventures in DFK is probably the other tool I use like religiously. It is so good at like, just telling me the odds and telling me like what.
Yeah, I would say it's the only one that I for sure definitely use every single day.
Do you ever use this one, DFK Cluster?
Yeah, I use that one too. That's I hop between that one and DFK Analytics when I need to like drill down on some real detailed hero searches and stuff.
Yeah, no, but like I said, there are so many different tools, like a Swiss Army knife, right? And like this was like the thing that was missing. There was so much that is like it's not captured, right? Like you said, it's all in the blockchain, but like where can you find it? Like where can you can go to get it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I am super pumped by it, by like this website, and you can do it like on all of them. This is the summoning portal, I guess.
Yeah, I took that from the old portal actually.
Which one?
The new portal doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it's like bigger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's really cool.
And it's also, yeah, like there's no like ivy on it or anything.
How does this work? So if you get like let's say you get a hero that was like given to you by a giveaway, does it tell you that on here or no?
Given to you by a giveaway.
Right, so you get airdrop like a crystal. So
yeah, so that's some of that data's hit and miss. Like a lot of the recent Gen Zeros where like the crystal got dropped, those should show up okay as far as the summoning info. But like some of the really early like Team Gen Zeros, you might see some just like some null information on those because
yeah. So this was airdrop to me, right? This is like one of the raffle prizes.
Yeah. So just
because I got airdrop the crystal, I guess.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Sales, summons, or whatever. Yeah, and you can see here, like I literally like me and another DFK user, we have like a deal because like we have like
you trade off
missions together. So like every 3 days we take turns and like we just send it back and forth because like the EV is just so high on the summons, right? Like I think it's like 3 of the advanced and like they're also like scholar and legionnaire.
Oh yeah.
There's pretty much like 4 advanced mutations, right? That are valuable. So
yeah, that's great.
What is it? Stives, yeah, Stives. There you go. So yeah, it's dope. Anything else that you want to share about this?
I think we covered everything that's there now. I was just thinking earlier today, it might be cool to add like Gen Zero reroll info on the life events. Yeah. So I was thinking about that. So yeah, I've got some other ideas, so it might be evolving.
And you know what? Where can people reach you if they want to give you feedback on the tool? Like, let's say somebody has an idea that whether or not you implement it, that's your call. But how can they reach out to you?
I guess whichever they like most. You can hit me up on Discord. You can DM me. I usually check and see, if there's DMs from people that I don't know, and just I'll accept it if it looks legit. Cool. But then I'm on Twitter as well if you want to try to contact me there.
And you know what? Let's just go and show people that. So like right before this started, I actually posted that we're going live on Twitter. So here is his Twitter, @ioscode.
That's it.
So make sure if you're interested and sort of getting some feedback, or even just say, hey, thank you and kudos for the tool. Now you know how to reach him. But anyways, this has been fantastic. I actually have to go to the gym soon, so I'm glad we're sort of wrapping up. But this is a fantastic tool. I can't say this enough. Thank you so much for all the work that you and all the other devs do. You make playing this game and being part of this ecosystem so much easier. So thank you.
Yeah, glad to help out.
And for everyone else, thank you for joining tonight. And as always, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share the video with people so they know about DFK history as well. And I'll see you next time.
There you go.